From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want those major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello, welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. And this is the first day, well, last day off, sorry, Ollie is going to take. So I am joined once more with Miss. I was going to say something dead funny, then it disappeared.
Well, maybe you're not that funny.
No. That's Ollie's fault. Ollie messaged me during the intro. No, it is. It's Ollie messaged me during the intro, and I was listening to that as I was trying to think of a way to bring the show in. And yeah, he's just done me. He's done me over.
He took. You know, he's still doing this. He's not even here. Where'd he go? Do we know where he went? Where in the world is Ollie?
Oh, should I dox him? His
Where?
exact location.
Yeah,
we
should know exactly where he is. That way, everyone in the world, we should dox him for sure.
What could we like for his scalp? What do they win?
Attaboy, I guess. I don't know. It's Ollie. You don't get that much.
If you can give away one of those hats, I'll give away a T-shirt.
Yeah,
but we need a photograph of the person, because I believe a male or female could take Ollie out. Holding his severed head with the axe he did it with, like that.
But make sure you don't do it in front of his family, because we don't want to traumatize them for the rest of their lives.
They're Ollie's family. They're already traumatized.
Exactly. So we don't want to make it worse. So let's be nice to them and just do Ollie by himself, get a little snack on a stick and reel him in. No problem. Easy day.
Easy work.
If I knew where he was, I'd go and get him.
Text you. Well, I'll just for the as though you have to document it. I want I want a YouTube video out of it at least.
Rumble. I don't think it's gonna make YouTube.
No. Do you know what I found out literally yesterday that BitChute was banned in the UK?
What is
BitChute?
What is BitChute?
BitChute was the before Rumble kind of solidified itself as the closest competitor to YouTube, even though if we're all honest, it's not as easy to use or as good as YouTube. But there was BitChute as well, and that the three of them. But BitChute was if Rumble is the Wild West, BitChute is fucking Thunderdome.
Well, no wonder they ban it. You guys don't get anything good over there.
No,
I hear you have good fish and chips though. I'll come over to the UK. I have some people. I posted on Instagram a while ago, and I was like, "Where do I need to visit? Right? Where should I come?" And then people I had 4 or 5 people. They're like, "You need to come to the UK." I'm like, "Okay, well, if I just come to London, can you all come to me? I don't want to travel all around the UK. If I get there, can you guys just make your way to me?"
Yeah. Do that.
Is that reasonable? Like, is that reasonable to
that's
ask?
reasonable. Yeah, it's a big island. It's not even that big on the grand scheme of things. Like Australia is also an island. You know.
Okay.
No, that seems reasonable that people could get trains. I probably wouldn't go to London.
I asked
London's a
where
bit
I should go.
stabby.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be
Yeah.
stabbed. I want good fish and chips, and I want a place where we can let's go to a pub, right? Those are popular in the UK. Let's go to a pub and drink a beer.
Yeah.
Have some fish and chips.
You should do somewhere like Manchester.
That's what I was told. Manchester,
Liverpool as well. Liverpool's nicer than Manchester. The people are nicer. Sorry, people from Manchester. But you guys can be a bit stabby as well sometimes.
I don't want to be stabbed. Can I come and not be stabbed?
Well, this is the.
Sorry.
I was just going to say this is the funny thing about British people. British people always turn around and say, "Oh yeah, like American gun laws are ridiculous."
Those dumb Americans, their guns.
Yeah.
You're just stabbing people like it's your job.
All over the place. So I can't fucking remember what it was. There was like a ridiculous day where there was like fucking 400 stabbings in London or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. Like
although
really
if you look at the statistics in
problem.
Chicago, it's like the exact same. People are being gunned down in Chicago like crazy. So we can't talk over here.
No. The Prime Minister, I can't remember where it was. It was his bright idea for trying to like halt the stabbing frenzy that seems to be going on was to ban samurai swords. That was it.
Like, are they the problem? Do you think it's the samurai sword problem?
No,
yeah, I think that the minute that we're like, we should ban this weapon, you're not looking at the problem. Like, no, it's not. The gun is not the problem. My gun has never jumped off the wall and killed me so far.
No, well, this is it. It's like that. You could turn around and say the American equivalent would be like Trump turning around saying, "These school shootings, we can't have those. No more tanks for you."
Right? Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. No. It's dumb. The whole thing's dumb. But I was told I need to come out there, so I will eventually. I actually have some plans in the future. So over Thanksgiving, I think we're gonna head down to Georgia. So I might do a meet and greet in Georgia, and then I want to go up. I love South Carolina. I've been to Charleston, and I have some people from there. So I'm like, maybe I'll go to Charleston and do a meet and greet in Charleston too. And then I have so many people in Texas. You would not believe the amount of people that listen to my podcast from Texas. Or maybe you know what? You probably would. So I need to go to Texas too, like badly. But I'm going to go to Texas when I go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
That seems reasonable, right? If he ever invites me to come on his podcast.
I always have that thing where it's fuck, what was it? It's the Dumb and Dumber thing, isn't it? Whenever I see like just a podcaster going on Joe Rogan for the sake of being a podcaster and not actually having anything to say, I'm there alone. So you're saying there's a chance,
right? I'm like, I could go on Joe Rogan. He could probably invite me. If you guys know Joe Rogan, I would like to be invited. I'll make the trip down. It's only a few hours to drive it. I think it's like 7 or 8. I'd drive 16.
Dani, I would drive if I got to go on Joe Rogan.
Drive across the ocean?
Yep. I'd find a way.
I mean, I would drive however long. I mean, I'd fly too. Flying is way faster, but I'm just saying. If he called me right now and he's like, Dani, I need you to be on my podcast tomorrow, I'd be like, I could make that work. I don't know. That makes me sound like really...
I think I could make that work. This evening might be a push.
Yeah. I mean, if you could do it on virtual, then you'd be fine. This evening would be a push for me. I'm not that close. So anyway.
I don't see myself being interesting enough to go on Joe Rogan's podcast at any time in the future. Now or tomorrow or 20 years time.
I don't know. I keep thinking like maybe I'd be good enough, but I'm also like, whatever. Sorry, I'm like adjusting a lot right now. I'm trying to find a comfortable position to sit in.
I think if I was to ever be on Rogan, it would say more about what's happened to Rogan than it would say about what's happened to me, because I would be meeting that train on the way down.
I have a couple people, and I think I don't even need to be on their podcast. Like, I just want to meet them. I have some questions for you. So, I don't know.
It's one of those questions. It's one of those questions. How come every big podcaster has like their pet CIA guy?
That is a valid question, I think. Yeah, I think we should start there. What
And
do
where
people
do I
tell
get one?
you off the air that you don't tell other people?
I want to know what Bob Lazar told him.
Yeah, I have more questions about like just everybody. He has got some crazy people that comes on his podcast, right? So, what do they tell you that they aren't telling us?
Well, no, that he says on the podcast, like, and he said to, I think it was Danny Jones when he had him on last. Danny Jones asked about Bob Lazar, and like Rogan said that Lazar told him something over dinner that convinced him that Lazar was telling the truth, and like he said to a load of guests, he said, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you off air."
See, I want to know. I got some more questions. But
I want to know your ghost story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a ghost story update. So if you didn't listen to a couple of days ago when I was on this podcast, my son has a ghost. His name is Amy. Okay, I don't know if the ghost is a boy or a girl because he tells me that the ghost is a boy. He calls him Amy. But then when he refers to the ghost, he calls the ghost she or her. So I don't know what gender this ghost is. I'm going to call her a girl because her name is Amy. And the only time he tells me that Amy is a boy is when he's like, Amy's a boy. She tells me this. I'm like, maybe it's just because he's 4 and he doesn't understand genders as well. I don't know.
That's
but
really weird.
Yeah, so we have this Amy character in our lives right now, and we were driving 2 days ago, whatever. We were in a different town, and we're driving down this street, this really popular street that we drive down as frequently as we are in this town. And we were just trying to get to Walmart. And I drive by this little it's like a local burger joint, but for like this sake, I'll just say McDonald's, right? So we're driving by, but it's something that he wouldn't be able to recognize. Like he wouldn't recognize a McDonald's typically because I don't take him there. But I'm driving by and I think to myself, oh, I didn't know that burger joint was there. And then he tells me from the back seat, he's like, that place is open. And I was like, what place? He's like, that burger joint place. He says the name of it. And I was like, Ivan, can you read? And he said, no. He's 4. Of course he can't read. I'm like, okay. And then genuinely, like with all of my, like, this was not a joke. I said, buddy, can you read my mind? Can you hear my thoughts in my head? And he was like, no, I can't, mama. I don't know. And I was like, okay. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you know the name of that place? Like, how did you come up with that place out of your mouth?
Was it just using the car?
We were just in the car. We were driving past it.
But was your husband in the car as well?
Nope, just me and my 2 boys.
Right. So no. I was just in case you happened to have met, been talking and it been
Right. No, I wasn't talking. And I like in my head, I literally was like, hey, that's a cool, like, I didn't know that place was there. So like I had said the name in my head. So that's why I was like, well, can you hear my thoughts? Because I asked him, like, how did you know the name of that place? And he said, somebody told me. And so what do you mean somebody told you? I said, who told you? He's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, that's weird. And so and that's why I asked him, like, can you hear my thoughts? Because I had just said the name of the place in my head. So I was like, okay, maybe he can hear what I'm thinking. That would be weird, but like better than like a ghost. And I said, who told you? He said, I think Amy told me. I was like,
awesome.
What? And then he said, Amy tells me all kinds of things. What do you mean Amy tells you all kinds of? She tells me secrets. Like, what kind of secrets? Well, she tells me not to tell you. Like, no, we're not doing that. You have to tell me the secrets that Amy tells you. And he said, well, sometimes she tells me funny secrets, and he like starts to giggle. And sometimes she tells me mean secrets, like bad things. I'm like, what bad things does she tell you? He said, well, sometimes she tells me to go in my room and throw toys, but I don't do it. But she tells me over and over and over that I should go throw toys in my room. And I'm like, okay, that's like not that bad, but like that's odd. And then he said, sometimes I want to tell you funny secrets, but she tells me not to. And I said, Ivan, you can always tell me funny secrets. Like, you can always tell me. And he said, no, I don't want to. And I was like, so then I call my husband. I'm like, I think we have a serious Amy problem. Like, this continues to happen. This is like and then I'm like, maybe I'm like playing into it too much. Maybe it's the reaction he gets from me freaking out about Amy. So when I called my husband to tell him this, I called him privately, like where the boys could not hear me. I left them in the truck. The truck's on. The AC is running. And I called my husband. I was like, we have a serious problem. And he thinks that I'm overreacting. But firstly, I saw the freaking ghost in my house and I heard the footsteps, right? And then like all these other things that they just don't, it doesn't make sense. I'm just like freaking out about this ghost problem.
I feel he's underreacting.
I agree. I feel, and he's like, it's not that big a deal. I'm like, no, I think it's a very big deal. Like, I think that we should be.
It's not that big a deal that your son, which can't read, appeared to read.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal that you saw a ghost. I'm more I find it more interesting the boy and girl thing.
Yeah, I can't figure that out either. And that's why I'm like, okay, maybe the demon like idea, like it has some like a little bit more weight to it, because I'm like, a demon could go either way. But when I saw this ghost figure, it looked just like my son. So to me, it was like it was a boy. And he tells me that the ghost is his same age. Or that Amy, he doesn't say ghost. He says Amy. He never says ghost. He says Amy.
I don't believe in ghosts.
Right.
Like I said to you before, I don't think we've got any choice in where we go or where we stay or where we are. But I do think that there's in the same ways you get when people do like seances and stuff like that, they'll contact loved ones and stuff like that. You're not speaking to loved ones.
Right. I don't think so either.
Yeah. So if they can deceive like that, I see no reason why it could be like visually deceptive too.
Well, I put it on Insta or on TikTok. I like posted on TikTok, and somebody said that maybe it was like the demon trying to get my son's name, because like when it appeared, I started calling to my son, like, come here. And normally, like if he's out of bed, like especially when he's not supposed to be, he'll run away like the ghost did. But if I call him, he like kind of like, I don't know how to, he like comes back into the room all sly like, and he's like, I'm out of bed, but maybe it's okay because like you're gonna love me, right? Like maybe you're gonna give me a cuddle. And normally I would invite him to my room, into my bed, and I'd cuddle with him for like 5 minutes, be like, okay, buddy, now it's time for you to go back to sleep. And then I put him back into his room. So he knows like he's not gonna get in like huge trouble. He could just come into my room. But when he was checked on, he was dead asleep. So
see, I had like a similar thing like that. I've never had any of that, like the interaction-y stuff, but I was convinced when I was walking down the stairs once that that I saw, like, I've got like it's an old house, so it's all like mule post sort of thing, and I saw something like scamper, because I like anybody with a mule post at the bottom of the stairs, I put too many coats on it, and I saw something scamper around from like where the coats were, and like run into the what would have either run into this room or into the living room, and I thought it was my son, and I ran down because I was going to scare him, and he was sat on the couch like playing on a Switch. I was like, ooh, that's a bit weird.
That is weird. I don't love that. I don't know. I watched the documentary you sent me.
What do you think of it? So I sent Dani a documentary of is it skull experiment, isn't it?
Yeah, the skull experiment.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I think that I do agree with you. At first, we got off the recording the other day, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know, like if somebody's killed violently, maybe their soul gets trapped here. So I do think that like there are some souls, like the ghost that I was telling you about my dad, that
Mhm.
like she came up to him and was like, "This is my name, and I was killed in this basement." I think that she was killed violently, and she was almost trapped there. Like her soul was holding on. Because I was thinking
Right.
about your story about how your soul was like scooped out and thrown, right?
Yeah.
And how you let go. Well, if this ghost that my dad saw, if she was trying to hold on with everything, like maybe she got trapped there.
Maybe.
And so like I'm like, okay, there could be some ghosts, but the amount that we're having and like the communication that we're having, I think that like that's not a ghost. I think that's a demon.
Mm.
So that's where I kind of differ from you a little bit, because I think that most people will let go. I think that some people, especially like she was younger, like she stayed, like she held on for whatever reason. Does that make
I
sense?
mean, I suppose it could make sense why there is so many reports of child ghosts as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
if there's like a confusion and not an unwillingness. I can't remember what's the oh, is I don't know whether it's folklore or whether it's a religion, but about the silver thread that um connects people, like an invisible silver thread that
I
connects
think
people
that's
to,
folklore.
yeah, to like to the afterlife or to the like
Mhm.
universal consciousness or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what's there to keep people connected and to essentially when you die, like pull you back, like literally pull you back to something, it would make sense that something, if you can put strain on something, even if it's like spiritual strain, that it can snap. So maybe that's what can happen to it.
Yeah. I mean, I I don't know. I think that there's a whole spirit. I don't but in the documentary, and part of it, they're like, "We're talking to you from another dimension." So then in my brain, I'm like, "Okay, well, if there are multiple dimensions," because we talk about this kind of sometimes, that there's multiple dimensions, then maybe it is like a group of like ghost catchers in a different dimension talking to a group of ghost catchers in this dimension. And
Mhm.
like, I mean, that's possible, but I think that's less likely. I do think that it's more like, but I think it's mostly demons. I think mostly. I think that there are some trapped souls.
Mm.
Like they should have passed on, they should have let go, but then they didn't because they like didn't really know what was happening to them.
Yeah. So in this documentary, if people at home haven't watched it, it's on YouTube. If you just type in "skull experiment," you'll find it. It was a group of four people. Was it four
Mhm.
people?
Or people.
And two of those people were like what you would consider psychic mediums. Um, and they did this over the course of 5 years, till 1997, 1998. Where they did seances in a basement, and I can't remember what the psychological research place was called
I
that I
can't
went
remember
to check
either.
them out. Yeah, the a group of scientists went down, checked it all out, said they couldn't find any tampering, any form of fakery, but these guys were putting empty film on tables, and the
Yeah, that
film was
was
developing.
wild.
Yeah, they were summoning orbs, getting orbs to move around and form different shapes in the air. There was levitation going on with the tables and stuff like that. They always had like glowing wristbands on so people could see the hands at all times. And the only debunk, like, so I watched. Um, I've already seen that documentary a couple of times, and then this afternoon I listened to like an older podcast which was debunking it, and a Y Files episode about it as well. And the only like cast iron debunks I could find, say cast iron, were people saying, "Oh yeah, but it was in the dark, so they could be doing anything." And you go, "Yeah, but that's kind of what those people went to debunk it to do." You know, I'm
Right.
sure they would have taken it into consideration that it was in the dark.
But those scientists, the like whoever went to debunk it, I can't remember the name of them either, but they had been like verified by the FBI that they can debunk.
SSPS, was that
Yeah,
it?
something like
That was
that.
it. Yeah.
And so, like, and they have debunked a bunch of other people that are like, "Oh, we're talking to ghosts." They're like, "No, you're not."
Mhm.
Like, we know you're not doing that. But then they went there and they're like, "We cannot find any sign that they are talking to ghosts." or that they're that they are not. Like everything seems in the up and up. Like everything looks like it's supposed to look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're the experts in debunking. Like they go to prove that you're not doing it.
Yeah.
They couldn't prove that in this case.
I mean, so there was writing that came through on some of these capsules. There was writing from not Thomas Edison, the other guy,
I didn't watch the entire
Tesla, Nikola Tesla.
No way.
Yeah. Some of the writing was supposedly from Nikola Tesla. That was on.
I know that they did some like voice analysis. They were like analyzing the voices that were coming through versus like the voices of like the actual dead ones or dead loved ones, and they're like, yeah, no, this is right. And I was like, I don't know. I think a demon could easily like spoof your voice.
They also had a photograph of a man that came through.
They got a lot of photographs because the first time they put the camera, like a film camera, they just put it on the desk, and then they like heard the clicks of the camera, and then that's when they got pictures. But then the second or like a couple other times after that, they left the film roll like in the tube that it comes in. If you're old enough to even remember all of that, like it came out of a box, but it's in a tube. They didn't even open the tube. They put that on and that's when it would have the writing on it.
Yep.
But like
and that film came directly from Kodak as well, from Kodak, sealed in a box for them.
And they signed it, like, so they, like, put a tape over it, and they signed it to make sure, like, look, there's no tampering with it. Like, they did everything they could to, like, prove that there was no tampering. And, like, the pictures that came through, there's no way that they could have, like, somebody at the table could have picked up the camera and then taken these pictures in that room.
No, it's impossible.
So,
but like one of the people that came through was I can't remember the guy's name. He was either the founder of Kodak or he was one of the founders of Kodak. And they gave his name and they went they searched it and they found this guy. The only other, because of how long this went back, the only other picture of this guy that founded Kodak is a painting from the time, and it was kept in the basement of the Kodak headquarters, and it was the guy. That was the photograph. They had a photograph of the
that
fucking painting.
Yeah,
that is the only known photograph of that guy.
That's what
to me, that's more important than the fact that in the dark.
But I think that that people are sensitive. People can feel these things. Like, I don't think that this is made up. I think that and actually I do believe that it happens to a lot of people. I believe like when people go ghost hunting, they hear things. I don't think they're hearing who they think they're hearing. I think they're hearing demons, and I think they're here like I don't know. I think I go back and forth because I'm like, yes, maybe like I went on a ghost tour in South Carolina, and we heard some voices coming through like the thing, and I'm like, I don't love this. Because is it a demon? Is it a trapped soul? I think it could be either of those things.
What I didn't realize was, do you know the group from the Skull experiment is still going?
I didn't know that.
They have, I can't remember where they went, because Skull's a place in the UK.
Yeah.
And they've moved it to like Belmont or something like that. I can't remember where they've gone. And now they're doing like the Belmont experiment or something like that. But I believe that's still going on. Because apparently I need to check it out, because they're doing a lot more of this online where they're explaining what they're doing, but they're using a device but they've put the plans out so you can go and make one yourself if you go buy the parts for it.
No.
No, I'm probably not going to do it, but it would be interesting to look at.
I don't think you should do it. No, I think that we should all not do it. We should all just be content with the things that they're doing, because they're probably going to hell.
Oh, I mean, if they're not going to hell, they're definitely going to be like, at some point something's following them home.
Oh yeah. But I think that they communicate so much with them, like they're like on a buddy basis with these demons at this point. Well, they have like the spirit team on the other side. They call them a spirit team, and it's like a bunch of spirits that they talk to regularly. They have the names of these people. Like, Nope. Mm-mm.
Was it the Seven Minds? Was that what they called themselves? There was a name for the spirits. Was it like the
No,
collection
like
of the
I just
Seven
thought
Minds?
they just call them the spirit team. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole documentary. I watched like half of it.
Yeah, no. The did you get to the picture of the alien?
No.
Holy
I need to watch the whole
shit.
thing. I feel like I really missed out. I didn't have a lot of time. I was researching Epstein.
Danny Mercy.
No,
Jeez.
I was. You know how far I am in this freaking Epstein shit? Like, whew. It's gonna be, I think, 4 episodes. I can't. I don't know what to do. So then I was like, oh yeah, Lee told me to watch this documentary. I only had time to watch half of it because I had to do my makeup to get on this recording with you. Which let me tell, we can talk about that and how fucking sexist this shit is. I'm just kidding.
I can't help being naturally beautiful.
That's what we'll call you. They just don't. They don't expect you to like look nice, but they expect it from a female. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Like, you show up, if you look decent, they're like, okay, fine. But if I like look one hair out of place, they're like, oh, she didn't try.
So this is a photograph that came from the skull experiment.
Oh,
That, in my eyes, is an alien grate.
yeah, because it's got big eyes, got like a tiny little nose, and the rest of it's just like a white face outline.
Yeah.
It looks like you know those stars and moons and stuff, like the little glow in the dark ones that you would stick on walls.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
those
so
like
it looks
glowing.
like an alien little like glow in the dark thing with like the eyes being dark and like cut out.
Yeah, but that it also reminds me of Lamb, that
Mm.
the Aleister Crowley demon.
Yeah.
That's why I think it. I
Yeah.
think those
Absolutely.
I think the aliens are demons. Like I think Tucker's right. I think that's
Because
that's
well,
what's going on.
the theory is that they're coming from underground, like not from outer space.
That's hell, that.
Right. I don't know. I've got some more questions.
Yeah, the other thing that was towards the end of the documentary, which you didn't see, was
Sorry.
Because they started to give advice, and they was essentially saying they were warning people that it went to this whole went to the alien thing. To be honest, you know, you hear about the Billy Meyer story and stuff like that, where he's warned that they warn us about like earth changes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
like nuclear war.
Yeah, so they were explaining to the people doing the experiments that human race was going to go through a growing of consciousness, and how just like seasons change and stuff like that, like our plane of existence changes, and that when we go through this consciousness shift, it's going to bring like great calamities. They say like our political structure will be under like massive strain. There's going to be like climate and geological issues that go on. There's going to be widespread societal collapse because of these things. And I'm there listening to this going, ooh, that sounds rather on the fucking bone there.
Yeah, that found that. Nope, don't like that. But also, like, they would know that if they're demons and they're putting this into play.
Yeah, if that's the deal, like that's what they want to happen.
Right. So they're putting it in your brain because then you're thinking about it, and then they have more power. It's like energy harvesting.
I've often wondered that, like the whole idea of whether we project reality, you know. And I wondered whether that's one of the things that the people use as a control structure. I think it's strange how we were bombarded with like Marvel films and superhero films for like such a long time, you know, and everybody was suckered into the like Marvel universe. And out of that, what did we get? We got a like Klaus Schwab, which no one had ever heard of beforehand, like willed into existence, like this fucking Bond villain. We had the pandemic, which was just a crazy situation, and even the Elon Musk situation, regardless of what you think about that guy, his entire character shifted. It shifted from being this like business guy who's like charismatic in a really fucking awkward way to all of the like Iron Man comparisons, the Tony Stark comparisons.
Very Tony Stark.
Yeah. And so a part of me wonders whether like the story needed like a protagonist, and it's just that massive like group thing created like the Trump. I mean, obviously it's been a Trump Musk duo for a little bit, wasn't it? But I mean, even in the Trump presidency, he was turned into some sort of like deity through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that. I've heard all kinds of different theories about Marvel. I don't know though.
Hit me well.
Well, I can't remember them off the top of my head. Otherwise, I'd tell you.
Oh, so I was
like,
not
I
supposed
feel
to
like
ask that, was I?
No, I feel like people send them to me all the time where I'm like, oh, I should look into Marvel, and then I just haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that happens to me all the time. I get all these theories where I'm like, I should look into that, and then I just don't have time yet. So I don't know. Like the dolphin thing, I've gotten this a couple times, like where like we're not supposed to communicate with dolphins anymore. It's like illegal. And like dolphin assisted births are no longer allowed, where I guess they were allowed for a while. And it's said that dolphins will actually help you have like a more smooth, like an easier labor and to have a baby easier. And that actually some babies, they come out smarter. Some babies have like telepathy, like they have different like gifts. But now it's like you're not allowed to have
dolphin
assisted.
friends.
Yeah, dolphin friends. You're not allowed to communicate with with the water mammals. It's a whole thing.
That's I had no idea. So how long is it? I take it must be in like a under the guise of preservation where people aren't allowed to.
I don't know why. I like again, that's just something that's been sent to me recently that I haven't looked into yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're not allowed to. I just know that we're not allowed to. Some people think, like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, talk about like movies, right? Where like the dolphins are leaving the planet. They're like, the dolphins know something.
Yeah.
If we communicate with them, like they know something.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
what do they know? Sorry, I got off topic. We were talking about Marvel.
No. It's fine. It's Ollie's fault. We don't know how fucking smart these things are either. Like,
exactly.
We're told, oh yeah, they're really smart. Like, how smart are they? Like building car smart, but they haven't got like the fingers to do it with.
I think that they know a lot more, and I think that there's a lot more to it than just like mammal conservation or like like biological animal conservation, because like there's something going on there that we're not allowed to know. Which I don't mean to bring it back to Epstein, but like that's what's in my brain right now. We talked about this a little bit last time, is like we listened to the Eric Weinstein podcast, and he's talking about how physicists aren't allowed to speak, and they're not allowed to talk, and they're not allowed to they have like they don't have freedom of speech because there's something about physics that we are not allowed to know, that physicists aren't allowed to say things. And then because he was kind of tying it back to Epstein, so then I tied it back to Epstein and about like the mind shift conference that Epstein hosted on his island with all these different people. Well, one of the people, let me see if I can find out. I have my notes up right now. One of the guys worked with mammals. Let's see. In mammal conservation. This guy, Ron Reisman, which I couldn't find a whole lot about this guy. So he's a computer engineer and scientist who worked for like NASA at the Ames Research Center, but he was also the CTO of Navi Systems, which I couldn't find anything about Navi Systems. But he also held a research position at a dolphin research center and the University of Pennsylvania Primate Research Facility. Which, like, to me, all those things, like that's not like a normal progression of a career. Like you're not going to work at like a primate research center, a dolphin research center, and then go to work on computer science at NASA, unless you're trying to learn something from the dolphins that you can now apply at NASA.
So Navi Tech.
Navi Systems, not Navitech.
Oh.
Right. And then when you look up Ron Reisman, because he worked at NASA, so I looked it up, and the guy that pops up is actually a Garrett Reisman, who is not the same guy. And he was an astronaut. Garrett Reisman was. Like almost like they're trying to cover up Ron Reisman. Reisman, excuse me. It's Reisman, but it could also be Reissman.
That's really weird. Yeah,
It's really weird, right?
I can't find anything on the Navi system thing apart from I can find a Russian website which is a car multimedia technology thing, which I don't.
But I don't think it's
is
that.
the same thing.
So this guy had like, and this is just one of the many people that were at this Mindshift conference, or that were confirmed to be at this Mindshift conference on Epstein's Island. And Epstein had all these people there. They were all obviously commingling together and with him. This is just one of the guys, right? So you're telling me that this guy worked with primates, worked with dolphins, works at NASA, was the CTO for Navi Systems, whatever that was.
Did you find this website, the navisystems.fi?
Maybe, I don't know.
It says Navi system, and then there's a login, so user ID, password, and but that's the website. That's really strange,
right? Like there's something weird about it.
Yeah,
and so
it's just a login system. So for whatever's behind that, no fucking idea.
But yeah, weird. I don't know. It just kind of you just like triggered my brain because I had written it down because I thought it was weird, and people have been messaging me about dolphins lately, and so I was like, that's interesting. But now you can connect all the dots. Like, what are they doing at NASA? Are the aliens coming from underground? And do the dolphins know?
That's the clip. Like you know when you walk into the parent teacher meeting.
That is. I mean, I guess I didn't even realize what I was saying. They're like, you're fired. Your kid can't come to our school anymore because we found this on the internet of you. Good thing I'm homeschooling.
Would you care to expand?
What do you mean that the aliens live underground and the dolphins know about it? Like, what does that mean?
And whereabouts is this on the home syllabus?
Well, you should see what I'm teaching my children. I'm actually having a hard time with that. Have you ever thought about this? Like, how do I teach my kids history? I'm going to homeschool my children, but like, do I teach them the history? Like, terrorists came and they blew up the Twin Towers. Or do I teach them the history? Like, no, it wasn't the terrorists. Sit down. You're in for it. And look at Tower 7. How did that Building 7 just fell down? That's weird. Like, let's talk about some of these things. But like, you know what I'm saying?
We'll start with the pyramids.
Like, how? How do we talk about the pyramids?
Joe, you don't start with a textbook that shows them building fucking ramps and dragging rocks up the ramps.
Yeah, that never made any sense. Are you kidding me? I thought that as a kid even. I was like, how did those rocks not collapse those ramps? Like, how does that work? But I thought like maybe they're smarter than we are.
Did we? Oh no, maybe it was the another podcast this week. I'm sure I've said this before. If so, I don't care. People listen again. I can still remember sat in my primary school classroom when we were doing which I even now thinking back on it, right? I'm like 5, something like that. Why do we do so much Egyptology in school?
That's a good point. Yeah, why do we know so much about Egypt?
What about all I can't remember learn about the Eiffel Tower. I can't remember talking about Aztec megaliths.
We talked about the Aztecs.
Did you? Oh no, we didn't. But yeah,
a little bit.
Fucking. Well, I did more but Egypt. I did more Egyptology at school than I did British history. Definitely.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that much.
Yeah.
I feel like we touched on a lot of things though, like a lot of history.
But I remember sat like looking at the textbooks of I must have been, because although obviously there was the ramps and the dragging of the stones up and stuff like that, and people get whipped while they were doing it. There must have been like a little bit of me going like, this is bullshit back then, because I can remember like looking at this thing going, this is wild. And I remember thinking to myself, I can't wait till I'm a grown up and we've worked out how we built these things. I remember thinking that as a kid, and here I am as a grown up, and I think we've got less idea of what those fucking things are.
Because we couldn't build it now.
No.
You're telling me that they built this when they had no technology and we can't replicate that? And then also, why are there pyramids all around the world? There's not just the pyramids in Egypt. And that's what we're not talking about. There are pyramids everywhere.
You seen the field in China, like the field of pyramids in China, where they're all like covered over.
They're just like covered over in grass, right?
And then the
ones in
official story is
Antarctica.
that
right, they're everywhere.
The Antarctic pyramids, that Buzz Aldrin tweet is one of the craziest things.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, even the official story of that doesn't make sense. So the idea is because he took ill, didn't he? So for those that don't know, there was a point in time where basically all the world's leaders and the Pope, and for some strange reason, Buzz Aldrin, went down to Antarctica for a jolly to stroke penguins. That's the official line of it. Buzz Aldrin took sick when he was there and had to be airlifted out.
Because he had a heart attack.
Yeah, and he tweeted a picture of the like supposed like mountain range, which looks very much like a pyramid covered in snow. And his tweet read, "It is evil itself." And I can't remember it was God help us or we are all in danger. It was one of the two. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was we are all in danger. It is evil itself. Something like that.
It's definitely this is evil itself.
But then that he didn't actually have a heart attack. It was just a panic attack. Did you know that?
I didn't. I thought he actually took sick.
No, he actually got airlifted. That all that was true, but he didn't actually have a heart attack.
Right. Oh, fuck! I didn't know that. See, the thing that doesn't make add up with that, which I find more believable than like Atlantis aliens, is that if let's just say, Dani, on this day in history, you stuck your hacking cap on and you managed to hack Buzz Aldrin's phone. You know you've got one shot at this in order to troll the world with Buzz Aldrin's phone. What do you tweet?
We didn't land on the moon.
Exactly. That's the first thing you do.
Right.
In the same way as that, like a friend of mine, which was like pretty liberal, left his phone unlocked on the bar table, and the first thing I did was tweet, "I hate black people." But
so fucked. Oh my god.
But
got canceled online now.
To be fair, that's getting clipped.
That's what happens when we put our whole train of like thought consciousness just out on the internet.
Oh yeah, I don't have enough of a filter to do this shit. Like this is. But yeah, that's the first thing I've thought was like you would tweet a picture of the moon, or you would tweet the video of them landing on the moon. You go, this shit never happened. Stanley Kubrick filmed it in a basement.
Exactly. That's exactly what you would tweet. Because if you're going to spoof the entire world, you're gonna like really cause an uproar. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine the meltdown.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. Can we do that? I don't know how to hack.
I don't know how to hack either. I mean,
if any of you know how to hack, contact us.
the I mean, do you think his password is like I didn't go to the moon? Maybe it'd be easier than we think.
Password 123.
If I was Buzz Aldrin, all my passwords would be to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, you can't miss that opportunity.
Do
you think that's why they named him Buzz Lightning?
Yeah, I know it's why they named him Buzz Lightyear. Yeah,
Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, I said Lightning, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, that's they named him after Buzz.
But what about the other guy? Now I don't even know the other guy because we talk about Buzz all the time.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, but like, how did that guy die?
I don't know. Did you see the? I mean, it's part of the intro to this podcast. Sorry, hang on, I'm breaking time. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's part of the intro to the podcast. If you're listening to this on audio, it's Call Me More now. The only reason we haven't managed to sync this up is because Ollie's lazy. But
poor Ollie.
Yeah,
he just gets picked on when he's not here, and when he is here, he gets picked.
I mean,
on all the time.
to be fair, that opportunity wouldn't have been there if you'd just done the fucking video. But yeah, right, Buzz Aldrin's like last public address, and he didn't do many public addresses. That whole thing about, you know, it's that there are great secrets to be found if we can remove some of truth's protective layers. What the fuck are you on about, Neil?
Yeah, what are we talking about there?
And even just the fact that these people, they just kind of, apart from Buzz was a good soldier.
Cardiac surgery. By the way, Neil Armstrong died of cardiac surgery.
During surgery?
Complications resulting from cardiovascular procedures.
Oh.
You know, so they gave him a heart attack and killed him.
Fuck. Tell you what, though, if they didn't, imagine that day at work. Like, you go home and say, what did you do today, dear? I killed the first man on the moon. That's how my day's gone.
I need a stiff drink. Also, he told me right before he died that we didn't go to the moon.
That's
why I had to kill him. The CIA showed up. It got real intense. Yeah, we have to move and change our names.
Yeah. Our son's name is now Pedro.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, they love to kill people via heart attacks. They love to give people heart attacks.
What's that?
Maybe that's what they were doing to Buzz. Do you ever think that? Like when they
didn't work.
Antarctica? Yeah, it didn't work. And then they like spooked. They're like, oh, it was a panic attack.
See, I think Buzz is in. That's the thing. I think he's
drank the Kool-Aid. He's so deep in this shit. He probably went to Epstein Island.
Probably.
Fuck. I'm so stuck on this, but it's deep in my head right now. I'm sorry. Like I can't get over it.
But he was the only one, wasn't he? He was the one that wheel out all the time. He was the. I wonder if it was being like the second guy. You know, even if it was staged, it was like he was still the second guy, so he felt like he needed to like do more.
I think Neil probably started to crack.
Yeah, I think Neil cracked.
I think in the end, like he just couldn't handle it. Like
I think
and that's why he stopped making public appearances. That's why he stopped like talking about it, because he was like, I can't handle the pressure. Like it's so much. He thought that he could, and then the more it went on, the more he was like, wait a second, like.
Could you imagine that? Like I mean, you could argue, does the American superpower, as we think of it now, as like does that happen without the moon landing?
It doesn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that led up to like America being what it was, but I don't think, or what it is, I guess, but I don't think that without the moon landing, like we didn't beat China, like we didn't beat China and Russia. Like we didn't win.
Mm.
Like so we can't be the best if we don't make it to the moon first.
How do we not how's no one else blowing the whistle on it? I know Russia kind of did. No one paid any attention, didn't they? Did you see the AI thing they did?
Mm-mm.
So there was Putin was being was shown around, like it was like it seemed to be like some sort of technology expo, and they had like this hyper advanced like analytics AI thing, and in front of him when they did this thing, they put the picture of the moon landing in. They came up as like they're digitally altered and hoaxed.
Well,
It's, I
they
mean,
believed it then, though. They believed it then.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I just wonder in these situations. Again, see, my Epstein Island is COVID right now, and I can't stop bringing things back to COVID. It's becoming a problem. And
That's funny because like I was gonna do COVID. I told you this. Like I was like
yeah,
I started COVID. I had like 1 page of research done, which really isn't that much when I'm like 22 pages in on Epstein. But I started COVID and then I was like, oh, Epstein. They like, of course they had to do this. So I switched and I was like, I have to do Epstein right now.
yeah. But like the way that the countries got on with with each other during COVID was that
Yeah.
it's one of the scariest things to me. And
Mhm.
and okay, certain countries made their own vaccines and stuff like that, but everyone had one. Russians had their own, Chinese had their own. That was the deal here. Because realistically, like it can't be both things, you see. You
What
can't
vaccine did you guys get?
don't speak to me like I had one of those things.
No,
We
like the UK. Like, did you guys get Pfizer
we had Pfizer,
and Moderna?
Oxford, and Moderna. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
curious about how far, like, if Pfizer went everywhere.
well, the wild thing about I found with it was the like when it first happened, and realistically, right, I was dead lucky because at the time when they started rolling it out, I was still undecided on whether I thought um, COVID was dangerous or not. I knew that my son's mother would take it, and I decided I'm not going to have it because I didn't want him pot committed with both parents with a
Mhm.
experimental vaccine. That was before I knew I'd looked into like mRNA and everything. So just even on the surface level of me thinking that this was still like a normal vaccine with like a
Right.
naturally attenuated virus, or whatever you say, um, I thought that's quick. Like
Yeah, it happened way too fast.
I've painted buildings that have took longer than what it's took you to do this vaccine, and
Which is terrifying.
yeah,
And then the rationale was like, "Well, they've been working on it for years." What do you mean they've been working on it for years?
yeah. The delivery mechanism, I can take that. So the mRNA thing, I can take you
Fine, but,
working on
like
that, but then when you find out that the blueprint they used for it was like a 3D printed type like model that they could send that was sent from China.
yeah.
And you like, oh, all of it sounded fucking weird to me anyway. So, um, that's why I decided not to have it. But when it first rolled out, like because I've got a strange kidney problem, I was offered it at the same time as doctors and nurses. Like I was round one fucking all stars draft pick for it, and like I was so happy I didn't do it. But I remember at first it was like, oh well, you've got to sign up for it first because it needs to be chilled to like fucking -80 and all that sort of stuff, and otherwise it would fucking fall apart and sprout wings and fly away. And the crazy part was only a few months later it was like, oh, the refrigeration thing, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about the refrigeration, it's fine. We can just keep it. We just keep it in the cupboard now. And there was like a big thing where people would say, "Oh well, I had Pfizer the next time. Oh well, we've only got Moderna, so it's but you can have another one of those. That's fine." So now we're mixing.
Right.
We're not just mixing batches. Now we're mixing brands. You're not even supposed to do that with paracetamol. By the rules, if you've got like Lemsip and off the shelf store bought paracetamol, don't take them together. That's the rules.
But they don't care. Like it's like the vaccine. Like the rules don't apply to vaccines. You know what
No,
I'm
none
saying?
of the rules.
Because,
None of
like,
the rules.
I don't know, and obviously I'm gonna talk about the US because that's where I'm at, but, like, recently there was an outbreak of measles, in quotes, because it wasn't really an outbreak of measles, but there were some measle-related
3
deaths
cases, wasn't it? 3
in
cases?
Texas. Oh, I don't know. I think there's like 13 or something. There's like 10, 13,
Alright.
something like that. And they kept saying, well, it's people coming across the border that are unvaccinated. Well, or there were kids that went to the hospital and they died of measles. And they're like, oh, measles is killing again. Measles wasn't killing again, right? This girl she was, I don't know, like 5, 6 maybe. Her mom takes her to the hospital because she's sick. She's got pneumonia. She's got something. Measles, by the way, presents as a respiratory issue.
Yeah.
Oh, but you get like a rash with it.
Mhm.
So, but the rash doesn't show up for a while. So you get all these respiratory issues. So little girl has a cold, turns into pneumonia. Mom takes her into the hospital. The hospital's like, oh, she's not vaccinated for measles. She's probably got measles. They give her the measles vaccine. They don't test her first, by the way. Then she dies. By the way, you're not supposed to give vaccines when somebody's already ill.
No.
And you're also, I don't know how many people know this, you're not supposed to give multiple vaccines in a day. So when your baby is taken for their well visit, I don't know how it is in the UK, but here in America, at one point they wanted to give my baby like typically it's 4. At one point it was like 5 or 6. Like they wanted to give him a lot of vaccines all in one
I
go, all in the same
I
time.
can't
Doop, 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 doop.
remember. I can't remember where it is in the UK. I know our vaccine thing isn't anywhere near as fucking
It's awful.
insane as the US one.
But you're not supposed to give multiple vaccines on the same day. You're also not supposed to give vaccines when somebody's sick. So giving vaccine to somebody like a COVID vaccine, if they're ill, their immune system can't fight it, can't accept the vaccine. So they gave this girl a measles vaccine because she was unvaccinated, then she died of measles. Then they blamed it on measles. And they're like, well,
there's
you
probably
gave her measles.
I've no knowledge on this at all, but I would have thought that if a vaccine is supposed to like cause a like immune response, if your immune system is already fucking flared up,
Yeah.
that's fucking less than ideal.
Exactly. Your immune system is already compromised. You cannot it cannot accept and fight and create antibodies for an illness while it's currently fighting an illness. Like you're giving it like it's overwhelmed, especially like a 5-year-old girl whose immune system is not like as well like is not as tough as like an adult's immune system. Like she died, and anyway, she died
Yeah,
because of
that's
measles, and they
awful.
blamed it on measles. But
And I think that whole measles outbreak as well seemed from this side of the pond anyway. It seemed to be more about because that was just when Trump had got back into office, and they were trying to confirm Robert Kennedy Jr. as
it was like in March or something. Yeah,
yeah. And I thought when this measles outbreak was going on, because over here, lots of the media was like measles outbreak in Texas as Trump chooses anti-vaxxer as health secretary.
Oh,
yeah, and that's what it seemed to me.
It did seem like a scare, like a what's the word? Whatever they did with COVID too, like fear mongering.
What's the right? I've been really busy this week, and I wanted to watch before I came on to do this. You might have been keeping up with it, especially with the Epstein stuff. What's this Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, Obama thing? And
okay, so I haven't looked
Obama
that
might
much
get arrested
into the Obama files, but apparently there's Obama files. I know they're out, but again, I'm so far down this rabbit hole right now, and I know that they connect, but I haven't looked into it yet because I haven't got to my Obama section. Because right now I'm like early Epstein. Like, what was he doing when he was at a high school teaching at 21, like being sexually aggressive towards 16-year-olds?
Yeah,
at 21.
See, when I was looking at this possibility of Obama being arrested, it seems to stem from the Russia collusion hoax.
They did. Yeah, so they did tie that back to him instead of Hillary Clinton.
Right. Because I did think to myself that if I was to see an Obama get arrested, then I might that might be enough to make to sway me back on the okay. let's let this all play out.
I think that they chose Obama because okay, I have a couple thoughts on this.
Mm.
Did they choose Obama because he's got such a clean reputation, this guy, right? Like, people think Obama, they're like, "Oh, what a nice guy." Like, he was decent. Well,
strangely enough, they think the same thing about his wife.
Big Mike? So anyway, but like, what did he do? I think he fucked up, or he didn't do something that they wanted him to. Like, this was like a blackmail thing. That's exactly what's happening. They're releasing certain things. They're like, let's get rid of Obama. Let's sacrifice this one because he's not doing what we want, and we wanted him to do whatever, and he wouldn't. And this is gonna be controversial, but
the Dolphins know.
The Dolphins know. Yeah, well, they do know. But it makes you wonder, like, what is so precious in his life that he would refuse to do something that the deep state wanted him to do in order to have all this happen to him, right? And it makes me wonder if it has to do with his girls, his daughters.
I mean, maybe.
Because, like, to me, that seems to be, like, the one thing that they don't touch. Like, that seems to be the one thing. Like, they've had a decent life. They've had, like, a mostly normal life. They're growing up okay. Like, there's not conspiracies about them. You don't really even hear people talking about them.
Technically, there is a conspiracy about them.
Well, that they were surrogates.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, because if Big Mike's Big Mike,
right?
They're not theirs.
But still, that's more about Michelle than it is the girls. So when it comes down to it, like, there's a lot about Obama out there. There's a lot about Michelle or Big Mike. There's not a whole lot about the girls. So it makes you wonder, is it, like, to me as a mom, that's where my brain first went. I was like, if it got to the kids, like, he wouldn't sacrifice for that. Like, he wouldn't do whatever it was for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've often thought that because I think we spoke about this last time, didn't we? When we talked about, like, power structures and the, like, elite when you were on Sunday. See, that's the thing. I fully believe that they care for each other.
Yeah. But I don't. Kind of. They do until they don't. They do until they can use it against you. Because, like, Obama, like, just like Diddy, like, he didn't do something right. They need to sacrifice somebody. Somebody need to take the fall for this.
Did they though? Because Diddy is getting off.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Epstein got off, but somebody had to be the fall guy.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Prince Andrew, like we said that last time.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
Although, by the way, so I mentioned this in my episode that won't air for 2 more weeks still, but Prince Andrew, like, yes, I understand that the laws of consent in the UK are different, but he's still raping girls if they don't want to have sex with him. Like, it's still rape. That's still, like,
oh yeah, no, it's
not rape of an underage girl at that point, but it's still what it is.
But then that's the question I have with the Epstein Island thing is, right? What is it? Is it are we taking people against their will, or because I mean, this is the thing with Virginia Giuffre and stuff like that. You can come out after that and say, oh, you know, I was groomed for this. They didn't do it. I don't know how much of that, like, it's where can you have the responsibility for that when it's not like she chose to go there, is what I mean.
I think that they're preying on, and Courtney Wild said something like this, like, they're preying on girls that don't have anything else, and, like, that people won't believe. And so, like, if you're a homeless girl who's, like, 16, 15, 14, and you don't have anything else, and this is how you're getting money right now, you're like, well, shoot, like, that's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
They don't realize, like, the psychological.
I think she was just as involved as the rest of them, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that she's a paid victim. Does that make sense? Like, she's like a paid actor, like a crisis actor, but she's like a crisis victim. Yeah.
See, like I said, she was perfect for the Prince Andrew situation. Perfect to be like you say, for the fall guy to come up, for essentially his reputation to be tarnished. But realistically, if you're a royal, do you care? Do you genuinely does it bother you that some bricklayer that's talking to his mate in a pub, going, "Fucking Prince Andrew's been fucking kids." Do you care about that? I don't think you care.
It
about
hasn't affected his life,
that. No,
so he's fine.
he did nothing before. He does nothing now.
It does make you wonder what the royals do all day long. Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah,
What is your role as a royal? Like,
never. I've never been a fan of the royals. It's one of my. It's one of my, it's the clashing point for me. My dad's a royalist, and I'm almost certainly not. Never really have been. Met the Queen once.
was she nice?
She seemed lovely. Shook my hand.
I watched The Crown. That's about as close as I got.
I mean,
but then like the whole Princess
me.
Diana thing happened. I was like, let's be honest, you guys killed her.
Did you hear? Did you ever hear that excerpt from the Queen's funeral?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna play this for you because
we cover so many topics. This is so much fun. I don't know if anybody can actually follow our conversation though.
Oh, I know. It's the funny thing is we've tried to be more ordered of lately, and and try and keep things through. But for this week, like all bets are off.
Well, I told you I'd tell you one of my dad's ghost stories, so we can finish it the way we started it if you want.
Yeah, I've got a small story about my granddad as well.
Oh yeah, we gotta hear those stories. I do like having just like conversations about conspiracies because a lot of times I'm like trying to convince somebody. I'm like, no, but like the freaking dolphins know about the aliens under the surface of the planet, and they're like, you're insane.
So
this is fun for me.
This is good. This was broadcast live on the BBC, and
I love the BBC.
Went fucking mental, and I still can't work it out.
If you could figure out how to play it.
Oh, I see. Are you gonna? It's only 9 seconds. Can you watch all of it? Or are you just gonna do the first half?
First half only. That documentary was like an hour and a half. God, I was working on other things too.
Right. Right, here you go. This was broadcast live on the BBC. Here it goes.
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped. As you can see.
Wait a second. Was that the Queen speaking?
No, it sounds like Princess Diana, if I'm perfectly honest. So it's just before you'll notice that the man that comes in speaking is the actual
anchor
journalist, which is covering it. But the disembodied voice, nobody knows where it's come from. Let's have a listen to it again.
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped. As you can see.
And so it sounds like the voice
says. Diana.
It sounds like the voice says the death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
Can we listen to it one more time?
Sorry, just quickly, I should point out for the audio listeners here that don't know about this clip. It's a helicopter view of the motorcade, which was carrying the Queen's body. And
that humming is like the helicopter.
Yeah.
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped. As you can see.
It's like she wanted to say more, but she couldn't.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped is like justice. I don't know. Like, what is she gonna say?
Yeah, well, the first thing I thought was when I heard that is, so if it's you've got to think that whoever that person is speaking to somebody. So maybe it's across channel, maybe it's someone else in the like the TV studio, maybe there's a live mic being left on somewhere. It does sound like weirdly like ethereal type thing, doesn't it? It sounds odd.
Like a ghost.
It sounds
we're back on topic.
Yeah. But the first thing I thought when I listened to that was because it starts with the death is irreversible. So the death is irreversible, not death is irreversible.
Right.
So that makes me wonder, well, what death is reversible?
So I don't mean to get super spiritual on you, but I'm going to just for a second. Because last night I was at my small group for like our little Bible study, and we were talking about like God versus man and how we make the bridge to connect and like be closer to God. And we get eternal death when we are not close to God. We get to God through Jesus Christ was the moral of the story, right? But he had this whole like outline, and it was like you had like a little guy on this cliff over here and God on this cliff, and like the bridge between the two cliffs was Jesus Christ. Well, underneath like on like the cliff, it explained like man by himself, you're going to have like judgment, you're going to have sin, you're going to have death, eternal death. But with God through Jesus Christ, you have death, but death brings you back to life with like obviously like eternal life with
Mhm.
God and Jesus. And it makes me wonder like if that's kind of where that's leading, because that's the immediate thought that I had was like, oh, I just learned about this last night. Like the death meaning like eternal death, whereas like a
Mm.
death that can like bring you back to life with God, like if you actually, but aren't the royals like notorious for being some sort of religion?
Well, it's funny we got on this topic because the part of the topics I would talk to you last night with Nick. We talked about the Ozzy Osbourne's death,
Mhm.
and
Oh, Hulk
I
Hogan died too.
I'm so sad. I loved Hulk Hogan as a child. I still love Hulk Hogan as a man. Yeah, I'm very sad about that. I like, very, very rarely do I go, "Oh," when a celebrity dies, 'cause I don't really know them. But fuck,
Right.
Hulk Hogan has been since I could think. Hulk Hogan has been a celebrity. Um, but yeah, the Ozzy Osbourne thing.
Yeah.
I was saying last night to Nick that we'll see if there truly is like a religious aspect to this, because if his funeral is like mental with fucking dark occult symbolism, upside down crosses and everything, going out like a fucking Ozzy Osbourne music video,
Yeah.
then I was saying yesterday's, I don't care how much of a fucking atheist you are, that would take commitment. Do you know what I mean? To piss in the eyes of Jesus on your way out the door.
But he lived like that though. Like,
Oh yeah, but
and
then
why was he so popular? Did he sell his soul to the devil?
Mapes. But the thing was, today I read that it was in the newspaper saying Ozzy Osbourne confirmed his love for Jesus Christ just before death.
That is suspicious to me.
It is, isn't
No,
it?
okay. I'm not supposed to think like that. That's the problem. That's been my issue as a new believer coming to find Christ in my life. I'm having a really hard time with like not being skeptical about everything because like what I do with my world and the way my brain is.
Mhm.
But like if he did actually like find Jesus at the end, good for him, and hopefully like he asked for forgiveness. That's the best we can hope for.
Yeah. I'll still be interested to see whether he has some sort of
Right.
crazy
Yeah. Yeah.
satanic funeral.
I just
But
like right away I'm like, there's no way he did that. But I'm like, you know what? Actually, let's hope for that.
yeah. I mean, well, depending on what was done. I mean, the whole like seeking forgiveness on the final hour does seem to be a get out of jail free card. You know,
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. And I've asked a lot of questions about that because I don't understand. So
what were the answers you got about it?
basically like God will forgive you at any point. Like anybody can be forgiven as long as like you actually want to be forgiven.
Hmm.
Because then it like to me, I'm like, well, how come somebody that lives their life devoted to Jesus their entire life, like how come they get to go to heaven, right? Obviously, because they've devoted their whole life. And then this murderer, child rapist, drug addicted person, like did all these terrible things, and they're like, sorry, Jesus, and then they die.
Mm.
You're like, well, do they also get to go to heaven? Like, that's pretty messed up. But again, at the end of the day, and I guess like the answer I've given myself is like, it's not up to me. Like,
I don't make the
as a
rules.
human, I'm gonna judge, but that's up to God. That's between you and Jesus. That's all I can like. I can't understand it. Is basically what I've decided.
Yeah, but part of me wonders whether because I struggle with those things as well. Especially someone that believes what's the right. I suppose the right word would be, especially someone that's never had more faith than they do right now, and that's not saying it's not saying a lot because I went for an awful long time without any.
Yeah.
And but if I was to throw a guess out there, I would say that there's been so much added to religion to conflate it and to make it difficult to comprehend and make it difficult to believe and follow, that it's if there's stuff in there that like that where you go, I like God in the Bible seemed to be fucking like he had a ruthless streak to him.
The Old Testament for sure.
Yeah,
I haven't got to the New Testament yet, but I'm reading through the Old Testament right now, and I'm like, does he get nicer?
Well, it must too. It seems all sheeps and rainbows at the end. So I said sheeps. That's not the right word. The
sheeps.
But I would just think that maybe some of that stuff has been put forward just to like water it down and just make it a little weak.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm brand new to this. I'm actually getting baptized on Saturday.
Oh yeah, cool.
So like brand new. So I don't know enough to even talk. I don't know enough to talk intelligently on it. Is basically where I'm at. I'm just learning.
I've been thinking about getting baptized because mainly because my son's Catholic and I'm Church of England, and I kind of think if anything was to happen, just like the COVID vaccine, I'd rather us just be in the same boat.
England has its own church? Yeah. What religion is that?
Still Christianity. It's still Christianity, but we have the fucking the dopey abbreviated fact is that one of our kings wanted some more wives, couldn't have wives, so we just had to remix it a little bit, and that became the Church of England.
Yeah, I feel like that happens all the time.
Yeah,
that's called a cult, actually. Just so you're in a cult.
Well,
and your son's in a cult too. Sorry,
trying to form one.
I'm not gonna join your cult. I'm good.
Yeah, that's what everybody says just before they've joined a cult. Like, this is the last place for me, and then the next thing is you're in white robes with like a fucking crown of daffodils.
Actually, that sounds nice.
Yeah, but that's before we kill the slowest cult member.
Oh yeah. See, that's where I gotta draw a line. Also, I can't drink any Kool-Aid. I don't do the processed sugars.
No, we don't have Kool-Aid over here. It'd probably be more like Robinson's orange and barley water.
That does sound like it's got a lot of processed sugars in it. I'm gonna have to opt out. I'm doing low carb right now, so.
I just want to live in I want to be the boss of my own compound, and it would look a little bit like Midsommar.
So Bohemian Grove.
I mean, if you want to put a label on it,
because that sounds a lot like Bohemian Grove. It's like very midsummer there, like very
look. All I'm saying is,
out in the wilderness.
Less fun people than me have managed to make cults.
I have to tell you that I cannot join your cult. but I support you in starting a cult.
Okay, that's something.
Okay, tell me your ghost story.
But it's not ghost story. It's you can tell me your ghost story in a minute, but it's a paranormal story.
Oh yeah, tell it.
Right. So my granddad, he used to go and like fish for salmon in was it salmon or trout? Anyway, a fish. In a river when he was little. Like I wasn't born. He was younger. Sorry, he would have been in his 20s, probably 20s, maybe early 30s. My mum was only a little girl, and he came home one day. And at first, you're going to think this because the island has like rich fucking folklore. You know, like there's a church over here which is like an abandoned church with no roof on it. The folklore around that is the reason we stopped putting a roof over it, because every time a roof was put on the place, a giant would come and blow it off. There is a you probably wouldn't know what the three legs of man is, would you? Our flag.
No.
So
the only thing I know about the Isle of Man is that you guys have a MotoGP race, and my husband wants to come to it.
It's not MotoGP, but it's a bike race.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a motorcycle race there, and he wants to
come. So our flag is a three-legged man, which is a red flag with a three-legged it's like a star, but it's like 3 legs, like 3 points. Like somebody got bored doing a swastika. Kind of looks a bit like that.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and
it's like a swirl.
But that came from the Lord of Man, Manannan Maclear, was on a hill, and as the island was being bombarded, he turned into a 3 legs with flaming heels, and ran down the hill towards them, shouting, "Whichever way you throw me, I will stand," which is our island's motto. We've also we had like a fucking one-eyed fucking dog that was guarded the castle, a bit like a ghost dog. But we've got like a load of fairy folklore. There's a place over here.
I think I have heard a lot of fairy things coming from over there.
Yeah, there's a. I mean, even now, if I go through Fairy Bridge, I say hello to the little people for good luck. Like you get bad luck if you don't acknowledge them when you drive through.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's where my granddad used to go, like poach fish, and he said to my mother that when she was a little girl, when he came home, that he was fishing, and he turned around and there was a small, tiny person stood next to him. So the bag he used to try and catch fish, he tried to catch the tiny person in, and when he threw the bag over it, and when he took the bag away, it left like a perfect burnt fairy ring on the in the grass. He took my mum to see it the next day, and like she'd tell you this right now. She's 78 now. That they went back like time and time again. And it took ages for the grass to grow back over it. But my granddad, I think my granddad died when he was like 73. Right, died when he was quite young. He took that to his grave. Like he never went back on it. He like his own daughter. He died still telling my mother that he tried to catch a fairy.
Okay, for purposes regarding my story, how big was this little person?
I don't know. I mean, when he explained it to me, I'm thinking like,
okay,
big, yeah, doll size, like large doll,
like
doll,
an American,
child.
Yeah, like an American Girl doll, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Are fairies mean?
See, I think that I think fairies, aliens, demons, I think they're all the same thing. And I've had this theory for years. You know how in the and you could argue it's happened now with the Tic Tac as well, with the and stuff. If you look at UFOs through the years
Yeah.
and look at cars, especially like in the sort of modern era, UFOs follow the design philosophy of the technology of the time. I don't think that's because we were making them. I think it's because that's how it presents itself. I think whatever the phenomena is
Interesting.
presents itself to people in a way that they'll understand it.
Yeah. I see that.
There was a story, wasn't there, with the when the New World was discovered, that from the beach the natives couldn't see the boats until the small boats landed, and they explained what the big boats were because they had no reference of what they were looking at, so they couldn't physically comprehend like what a fucking galleon looked like.
I can see that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we are. So when so my things have been, you know, how the UFOs are referred to, like, or sorry, things in the sky being referred to as chariots of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And we just think of it as being like a ball of fire in the sky, and they've just gone, oh, it's a chariot of fire. I think they saw literal chariots on fire in the sky.
Because that's what the technology was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I've heard of them like referred to as serpents, but like you would know what a serpent would look like a snake or something.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of either. Like going back into like dragons and Chinese dragons and stuff like that. Like maybe that was just the easiest way for these things to manifest themselves to people back then.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's all the same thing. I think it's all the same phenomena, be it demonic, be it just like supernatural and otherworldly. It could even be the like Bigfoot. You know, why does you're already in a forest, you're already within nature? It would make sense for whatever it is to present itself as something from where you are.
That's a good point. I guess I never really thought about that because I did an Bigfoot episode. I didn't bring that up because I didn't think about it. I did post on Reddit about it, and I was like, "What do you think Bigfoot is?"
Did they just call you a retard?
They said it's just basically like an animal.
No, I've posted a couple of things on Reddit now and again, and found most people that are on Reddit fucking hideous.
I don't know. I haven't had that experience on Reddit, but I'm sure it's there. But I asked about the fairies because my dad has a similar story.
Awesome.
Yeah, how freaking weird is that?
Yeah.
Because you're telling the story, and I'm like, wait a second. I recognize the story. So it was different, though, because he was in this house.
Dolphins told me.
The dolphins told me. Yeah. Dolphins told you about my story. Then you tell me your story. The freaking dolphins know everything. No, so when he was younger, he lived in this house, and his like part of his family, he was living with extended family. So part of the family lived upstairs, and he lived in the basement with his mom. They lived downstairs. But he was home alone. He had to be like a kid of some sort. Like 10, 12, something like that. So he was living down there, and he would always hear these tiny little footsteps, and he called them the little people. But the little people were really mean, so he would lock himself in the basement because the little people would pull out knives. And so sometimes his mom would come home, and all the doors and the like knives are all pulled out of like the drawers and the cabinets, everything's open, and all the knives are pulled out because he would say that the little people did it. And like he would talk, they were like, yeah, like the same size. That's why I asked the size. The same size that what you're saying. And he would say, like, he would get in trouble for it, but he would say that like the little people would do it, but the little people would try to cut him. Like, wild.
The interesting thing about him calling little people is that in Manx folklore, when you go over Fairy Bridge, you're supposed to say hello, little people, because they don't like being called fairies.
Yeah, he always called them little people because he said that basically they looked just like us. They were just smaller.
Yeah.
Like, wild.
The idea of something like that living stealthily alongside us is fucking terrifying.
It is terrifying. Because then, like, you think about like vampires and like werewolves and different things. You're like, what the how many things are true? Mermaids? I believe mermaids are real, 100%.
Why do you believe mermaids are real?
It's really hard to have so many different cultures from all around the world when they could not communicate with each other and they could not like talk about like what they were noticing, and they all have like the exact same basically story from different time periods and different cultures and different places all around the world. You're telling me that not all these people, like, they just made it up? Like, everybody just had, like, the exact same dream and drew it? Like, I don't understand.
Do you know what I've always found funny is the old maps with the here be monsters type thing. So, like you get an old map that was a functional map. It's not fucking for display or anything, functional map. And there's like a fucking kraken here. There's a fucking headless horseman over here. And it doesn't make sense. It's like you wouldn't like open a map like of the US and find a Tyrannosaurus next to the I-95. Do you know what I mean? It just
Well, where
doesn't.
those krakens are displayed, that ships still to this day don't sail through those areas.
Well, I know when a friend of mine, he was an ex-Marine, and when he left the Marines, he went to work as for private security on like Somalian oil rigs and stuff like that. And he was saying it was really weird when they get like out into, when they're out in sort of deep sea where there's nothing around. And he said, look, it's just huge sections of ocean. He said, look, we just can't go through. He said, it's not shipping lanes or anything like that because there's nothing there. So we just have to go around them and like all this extra time and fuel where we could just go straight forward.
Right. So why do they go around? Because the dolphins?
You should do an episode on that.
I should, because the dolphins are telling you, don't go that way. I'm never going to go over this dolphin thing. I need a little dolphin. I need to like start hanging things behind me. Like I need a little dolphin.
Dolphin could be your hecklefish.
Oh, that would be fun. I don't know. Hecklefish is like one of a kind,
That was a good way. I love Y-Files. I've fell into watching hours of Y-Files sometimes. And that whole thing, that it's genius. Nobody's done it better than that guy. Nobody's done it better.
He does a great job. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he does a fantastic job. Oh, I got to tell you the actual story that I came to tell you, though. My dad's ghost story.
Oh, I thought that was the Little People story.
No, that was just another. He's got a lot of them. There are a lot of stories.
Okay, sorry.
So, they did property management. So like the story that I told you last time about like the girl in the basement, like they did property management. So they had like they went to different houses, they would get them like ready for new renters to move into. Like they managed the properties, which is fine. So one time I called him. This is a different house than the last house. So I called him up because I was in the Navy and I had been to this house before. Like I had gone in there. I got this like really weird feeling in the basement, but the basement wasn't like it was like a split level house. So you go up, you go down, like right when you first walk in the door. There's also a main level, but it's like to drop down to the basement, like the lower level, it's only like a 5-foot drop. So like the level doesn't go all the way through, if that makes any sense. So you can see just to the kitchen from their basement, but I was like down there. It's only like 4 or 5 steps down, and I was like, I just don't like it here. So like I didn't go there very often. I was working, I was doing other things. I would just go there like if my parents needed my sisters dropped off, or like if I needed to go pick something up for them or whatever. So because they were getting this house ready to be, I think they were getting it ready to be sold. So my dad's in this house, he's fixing it up. I call him up. I'm like, hey dad, just so you know, like I'm gonna come home from the Navy. I'm gonna surprise mom. So just don't tell her, but I need you to know that way, like, because they were gonna be on vacation. So I was like, can you have like a bed for me to be able to sleep in when I get there? Because I'm gonna surprise. And he was like, yeah, no problem. He was in the garage of this house talking to me on the phone because that's where he had service. And he, like, I could hear his, like, whole demeanor change. And my dad's, like, a badass guy. He's, like, this big guy, tattoos all over. He went to prison, like, that kind of guy. So he doesn't get startled very frequently. His whole demeanor changed. He's like, did you just hear that? And I was like, no. And he's like, that was freaking weird. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, every single door in this house just slammed shut. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, every single door in this house slammed just now. Like, that's freaking weird. That's so weird. Because I had gotten weird feelings, but I was like, maybe I'm just scared of the dark. I don't know. Well, my other sister, my youngest sister, she would get really, really bad headaches being in this house. So she would have to actually just sit on like the sidewalk, sit on the curb, like as far away from the house, like not in the street as she could get, to not be in the house, and then she would feel fine. But the minute she walked in that house, she would just like get sick. But anytime my mom was there, nothing happened. Everything was totally normal. Well, then they had this couple move in, and this couple moved in, and it was like a husband and a wife and like their 2 kids. They moved in. Wife would go on walks every single day. Like she would go on walks around the neighborhood. One day she went on a walk and she didn't come back. Yeah, for like a week. Cause like the kids came home from school and they're like, Mom's not here. For like a week, she was just gone. And then one day she was just on the couch. She was like just at home. Like she just walked in the door. And the husband's like, where have you been? I'm literally getting goosebumps telling you the story. I'm like, where you been? She's like, I just went on my walk. He's like, you went on that walk 5 days ago. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm literally like, ugh, getting goosebumps about it. She's like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, you've been gone for 5 days. Wild, right? So then they move out of the house. Eventually, my parents get all fixed up. They have a new couple move in. This new couple, it was like one of their birthdays. So they had a couple glasses of wine. They had friends over. Friends leave. They're watching TV on the couch. Wife falls asleep. She's dead. Gone. Dead. All in the same house.
Was it the same couch?
No, it was just like different family, different couch.
No. I was hoping it was like furnished, and it was the
No,
same house.
no.
No. Oh, the
Not
haunted
furnished.
couch. That's fucking insane. And
Yeah.
I think the most insane thing about that is because that obviously ghost story extraordinaire. But it's the lack of separation between like your family and those people. Usually when you hear stories like that, it's like, oh, this thing happened in this such and such a place, and there's no like connection there.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. So
well, finally it sold after a while, and my parents never had to go back there. But like nothing weird would ever happen when my mom was there. Only like when everybody else was there, like you could feel something weird. But when my mom was there, nothing weird would happen. So the idea is that maybe they were targeting the wife. Because like the wife disappeared in the one situation, the wife died in the other situation. They decided that she just died of natural causes. Like she was like 32 years old, had young kids, totally healthy, and she just fell asleep and died. Like what?
It's the woman that went missing for 5 days. That's fucking
right. And then she just like walked back in the door like nothing happened, and had no memory, had no recollection that she was gone for 5 days.
Jesus, you could give me. You would have to give me a long list of people before I could find somebody else that I want to speak to more than her right now.
Right. Well, and they moved back to like they had moved to Colorado for whatever reason. They moved back to like Texas or wherever they were from to be closer to family, because like after that they were like freaked out. Obviously, he was missing his wife. Like there's a missing person report. They couldn't find her. They looked everywhere. Like she had she would go on this walk every single day. So she'd go on this walk around
How
this
old
loop.
were they?
They were also like young, in their 30s.
Right.
Late 20s, early 30s. And she would go on the loop, and then she'd pick the kids up from the school bus, and then she'd walk back home. And then like she didn't pick the kids up that day. Like she left, like she was going on her walk. She didn't pick the kids up, and the kids just walked home, and they didn't see her for 5 days. She just comes back home.
So she went missing on the way to get her kids?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Fuck.
Because it was the same loop that she would do. So she made it like a longer loop. That way she could like get a little workout in and then pick the kids up on the way home, like from the bus. But from what I understand, she didn't pick them up from the bus, and she just like was missing. But the thing that really got me is like
more about those people.
I feel like I would have been like, oh, whatever, like coincidence, right? Like maybe she was like fucking around or something.
Yeah.
But the conversation, I was on the phone with my dad, and he was like startled because they had windows open because they had been painting, so they're trying to like kind of fume it out, you know. Windows open, doors open, everything open, the whole house. It was the middle of the day, and he's in the garage. Even the garage door slammed shut.
Wow.
Every single door, window, everything just slammed shut at the exact same time. Like, and my dad was like,
I've never
out.
gone back. I've never gone back in that place.
Talk about demon. From the get-go, I thought it was demon. I never thought that was a ghost.
I don't like it. Don't like any of it.
No.
You've also just I hope Ollie doesn't listen to this episode.
Why?
Well, because I always have a go at him for how he says the word demon. You say this. You say it the same. You put a D on the end of it.
Demon.
He's gonna feel vindicated by this episode.
Demon. You're right. It doesn't have a D.
Dang it. No, thanks, Danny. Thanks for rounding off this 5 days without Ollie. He'll be back with me on Monday. Not Monday. Yeah, well, you guys will think it's Monday. For me, it'll be Sunday. But yeah, we should do this again sometime, regardless of whether like Ollie goes off to Mardi Gras or not.
Is that where he went? No, it's not Mardi Gras time. Goodness gracious, you got me. I was like, whoa, no, it's not Mardi Gras time.
I did have a quick search just to make sure there was no pride parades in the UK at this time. Like he decided to do that. Like 5 days of fucking debauchery.
Isn't he married with kids? Like he's not gay.
It's the best excuse, isn't it?
That is a good cover up. People do it a lot.
I woke up. He was stroking my hair when I was asleep. I know he was. Even if he fucking says he wasn't. But anyway, Danny, tell people more what's coming up on the what was the last episode you put out, and what's coming up?
Okay, so I just put out the Mountain Dew conspiracy theories. Next week you're gonna get Bitcoin with Tony Arnerburn. He comes on, he tells me all the things about Bitcoin, which in turn tells you all the things about Bitcoin that you need to know. And then after that, buckle up, because it's gonna be right now, I'm guessing it's going to be like 4 episodes of Epstein. One of those episodes by itself is going to be just Robert Maxwell, because you can't do Epstein without Robert Maxwell. But what I've decided, what I've committed to myself, which I'm now telling you, so that means that has to come true, is that everything Epstein, every single rabbit hole, every single, like, if I find more about Pizzagate, I'm going to do another Pizzagate. If I find more about like whatever I find, however far, however deep, however long this thing goes, I'm just going to keep doing episodes on this. I might spend the rest of the year covering Epstein.
Right. I'm glad you're doing Robert Maxwell, because it's something that's really missed. And I always find that interesting to listen about Robert Maxwell, because I remember that when I was younger, you know, when he disappeared and stuff like that. Well, he fell off his boat, didn't he? Is that right?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Odd.
Officially, it was an accidental drowning.
Mm-hmm. Did they recover a body?
I don't know.
I can't remember whether they recovered a body or not. Be so weird that, wouldn't it, if Robert Maxwell disappears, Jeffrey Epstein disappeared, Ghislaine Maxwell, who knows where the fuck she is? I just guarantee she's not in that prison.
I wonder if I could go visit her, send her a letter. I sent Terry Nichols a letter.
Who's Terry Nichols?
He was Timothy McVeigh's like accomplice, basically, for the Oklahoma City bombing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Did you get that back?
Not yet, but I'm still waiting.
He's what else is he doing?
I mean, I said that I would email with him, that I would call him. I gave him my email, my phone number. I also told him that I would come visit him. I will make the trip to Florence, Colorado to visit him.
Be careful, like, because apparently the rate of women that message and fall in love with like serious criminals.
That's a true thing. I'm not falling in love with him. I want to know his side of the story, because there's a whole side of the story that's not told, and it's Terry Nichols, and they don't let him talk. So I was like, maybe he'll talk to me.
Clarice said all this about Hannibal Lecter.
I don't know about all that. But also, he's in a Supermax, so I'm not like terribly worried about like my safety, because he's in a Supermax prison. Like the Unabomber's there. Like there's like this is the prison where like the really bad guys go. So there's a lot of security.
Do you know, I read the Unabomber's manifesto for the first time. I know we're desperately trying to wrap this podcast up, but I read the Unabomber's manifesto for the first time. I say read it, skimmed through it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Some awkward reading. Some awkward reading now.
Now I'm curious. I want to read it.
Yeah, do you know what? You're going to agree with a lot of it.
No, don't tell me that.
No, you will. You will. Go read it. Go read it and message me immediately.
Where do you find it? Is it just like on Google?
Yeah, it's just out there. Just go look for it. I didn't like go see him.
I mean, he's also in the same prison that Terry Nichols is, so maybe I'll send him a letter too.
You can do letters.
I'm just gonna start sending letters to people in prisons and see who's gonna let me come see them.
It's like,
Tell
"Look,
me your
Terry,
story.
I asked you first, but now I've only got 2 o'clock for you."
Yeah, I'm meeting with 5 other guys in this prison. I'm gonna learn everybody's stories, and they're all coming on my podcast. Is it okay if I record this interview?
Could you just close your mic, please?
Don't clear your throat. It messes up with the audio.
Right, we're definitely gonna end it. Thanks, Danny. That's nearly 2 fucking hours. Look at that.
Yeah, because we have too much fun.
Yeah, but yes, we do. Yeah, but thank you for coming on the show again. We'll have to do it again, even when Tiny Hands is back. And yeah, don't be a stranger.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. They are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids. Visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want those major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.